Good morning everyone and welcome back to our favorite show, Hello Doctor. So today I'm your host AIRIEL and with my colleagues, Dr. Eve. And today we will invite a lucky guest here and we'll unravel the mysteries around your disease. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel to see who is the chosen one. Oh, here we go, the chosen one. So, what a unique name. We got Mr. Shark here. So, let us invite Mr. Shark to the podcast today. So, Mr. Shark, nice to have you here. I'm sure you have been facing a lot of troubles in your life due to your disease. So, I'm positive that the audience is also growing with curiosity just now. So, could you please introduce yourself first and what is troubling you?
So hi, my name is SYAKIRIN by ASWIR. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be your guest today. I've been having some problems that I wanted to talk about. I keep getting eczema that won't go away, and I noticed my skin and hair are lighter than the rest of my family. There's also a musty smell on my skin and urine that I can get rid of. I've been having a hard time with mood swings and feeling like I can control my emotions. Sometimes it feels like I'm behind others when keeping up with things. And also, I even had a couple of seizures which really scare me. And I'm not sure what's going on, but if it's PKU or something similar, I would like to get your help to figure this out. Thank you.
So to compromise with you, you have eczema, lighter skin and hair compared to other family members, musty smell of your breath, skin and also your urine, some seizure and also mood swing, right? So I think it's something about protein, but I can't say it PKU like you said. It's either AKU or AKU, Phenylketonuria, or even PKU that you have said. But I think I want to get some ideas from other people.
Thank you, doctor. There sure is a lot of problems that you have to deal with. So I'm sure it affects your both mental and physical health. Okay, so let's move on to the next session. So actually, we've managed to reach to some people who have known about PKU or have some sort of idea on what are you facing. So let us turn our attention to the screen and listen to the person we got in touch with, which is one of the students of prestigious university. So let's welcome her.
Hello, I'm KAMALIA and I'm a biochemical science student. As a biochemical science student, I find it interesting and a bit worrying when I hear about diseases with symptoms that are hard to explain. From a biochemical perspective, these symptoms might point to a problem with metabolism, like how the body processes nutrients. For instance, the skin and hair discoloration might mean an issue with melanin, the pigment that gives color to our skin and hair. The musty odor could mean certain chemicals are building up in the body because they are not being broken down properly. This makes me think of conditions like PKU, where the body cannot break down an amino acid called phenylalanine. PKU happens because of a mutation in a specific gene called PAH, which gives instruction to make an enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase. This enzyme has a very important job, which is breaks down an amino acid called phenylalanine, which we get from the protein in our food. When the PAH gene has a mutation, the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme doesn't work properly or is completely missing. This means the body can process phenylalanine correctly. So, phenylalanine will up in the blood and tissue, which can cause a variety of problems. What makes me confirm this patient suffering with PKU is because he had few times seizure. This occurred due to elevated phenylalanine that affect the brain's electrical activity and neurotransmitter balance, making the brain more susceptible to seizures. Also, high phenylalanine level disrupt the production of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin. This imbalance in brain chemistry can lead to emotional instability, mood swings, anxiety, and even depression.
Wow, it's very good explanation from you, Ms. KAMALIA. So, she also suspect that you have PKU based on your symptoms. And PKU is a genetic and it's quite rare because it cannot break down the protein called phenylalanine. And phenylalanine is very important protein for your brain to work. That's why you already told us about you think that you are falling behind from the others. So I think you can ask another person. Right?
That's true. Thank you for your insight, Dr. East. So before we move on to a lot more details about the disease, let us listen to another person that has related with a similar condition as yours. So maybe we could shine more light to your disease and maybe we could come to a conclusion on what it actually is. So let us see the screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and let me tell you a story about my cousin Rose. She has something called Phenylketonuria or PKU, which affects her body ability to process an amino acid called phenylalanine. We believe that this might be tied with our grandmother's heritage. She was part of European and people from that background have slightly higher chance of carrying the PKU gene compared to other people. Rose is an amazing girl though. She has to follow a very strict diet where she can eat meat, dairy or even certain grain. Anything with aspartame in it is completely off limit to her. She mostly eats fruits, vegetables and also a low protein food like pasta and jelly. Currently, she also on a treatment called, I think it's called Palynziq. It's an enzyme replacement therapy that has been a game changer to her life. It contains a genetically engineered enzyme called phenylalanine ammoniyase or PAL, which breaks down the phenylalanine in her bloodstream. This prevents a build-up in her body and alleviates the PKU symptom that she has. And now, her journey seems so much more brighter and I'm so proud of her for thriving despite this condition. I hope you feel the same way after this. All the best in your journey to find out what your problem is, and thank you for listening to my story. Bye-bye!
So based on Sarah, she believes that Natasha also have PKU because of her cousin that has similar symptoms. And yeah, she already told us about the best treatment for PKU is by her diet. And it really helps because PKU is not really affected on your life if you have a very good diet. And she also takes Palynziq, and it's very good treatment for PKU patient to digest the protein that you needed. Phenylalanine is the protein that you need to take from your diet. So I think we need to call upon our honored guest, right?
Thank you again for your opinion, Dr. Is. So let's don't forget our regular way of unraveling your disease. Let us welcome our esteemed guest who is a specialist in medical genetics, Dr. SUFI.
Hello, nice to meet you guys.
Thank you, Dr. SUFI. So to start, we have a patient here who's recently been diagnosed. Could you please elaborate us more about it?
Wait. I need to prepare my slide first. So based on the symptoms that you've described, like eczema, like the skin and hair compared to the family, and also you have musty odor and developmental delays. So this is strong indicators of phenylketonuria or PKU. To confirm this, healthcare providers usually perform a blood test to check the phenylalanine level in the body. If the levels are high, additional tests like more blood or urine tests are done to confirm the diagnosis and determine the specific type of PKU. Since PKU is genetic, a genetic test can also identify the mutation responsible for these symptoms. Okay, so let's see the screen.
Let's start with classic PKU. This is the most severe type where individuals have little to no activity of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase or PAH, which is crucial for breaking down phenylalanine. Untreated individual may develop a musty or mouse-like odor from the excess phenylalanine, lighter skin and hair, and skin condition like eczema. Next, we have moderate to mild PKU. In these cases, there is some PAH enzyme activity, allowing individual to process small amounts of phenylalanine. Symptoms are less severe but can include mild cognitive or behavioral issues if left untreated. A modified diet may still be necessary, but it's less restrictive than in classic PKU. Finally, there's hyperphenylalanemia, also known as benign PKU. This is the mildest form, where phenylalanine levels are only slightly elevated and generally do not cause symptoms. While treatment is often not required, regular monitoring is recommended to ensure level remains stable.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's discuss the types of PKU, but let's dive deeper. Could you explain the pathogenesis of PKU and what exactly causes this condition?
PKU is an autosomal recessive genetic disorder that affects the function of phenylalanine caused by mutation in the PAH gene in chromosome 12, which leads to a deficiency or complete absence of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase (PAH). This enzyme is crucial for converting phenylalanine, an amino acid found in many proteins, into tyrosine. Without adequate PAH activity, phenylalanine accumulates in the bloodstream and tissues, particularly in the brain. High phenylalanine levels interfere with the normal production of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which are essential for brain function and development. Over time, This buildup can cause severe cognitive impairments, developmental delays, behavioral issues, and even brain damage. The elevated phenylalanine also causes oxidative stress, which further damage neural cells and affect physical growth. Early diagnosis and strict dietary management are essential to prevent these severe consequences.
Thank you, Dr. Sufi. That's a very detailed explanation. Since PKU is an autosomal recessive disorder, I'm sure it's very rare to see in people. Fortunately, we actually got in touch with a PKU patient who has been diagnosed the same as Mr. Shakir, and she has been living her life ever since then. So let's go to the screen and listen to how she has surviving until now.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma and I was diagnosed with PKU since I was a baby. Since PKU is inherited, I actually got it from both my parents even though they didn't show any symptoms themselves. So it is a rare genetic condition. If I was left untreated, it can actually cause severe brain damage. So luckily, I started my treatment very early. My doctor put me on a strict low phenylalanine diet, which means that I have to avoid those high protein foods like meat, eggs, dairy, and even some vegetable. So I had specialized food and a special formula for nutrients. I also took Kuvan, which is a medication that helps to process phenylalanine, but it only works alongside with diet control. So on top of that, I also have to frequent blood tests to monitor my phenylalanine level, and it wasn't easy for my life as social events was tough and the constant diet restriction could be really frustrating. But my family and friends always support me, make sure I always have safe food options. So now, thanks to the strict management, I actually feel great. I can focus, I have energy, and also able to live a normal life. It takes effort, but I think it's totally worth it. So thank you for listening to my story.
다이어트! 다이너마이트!
Yeah, as I mentioned before, PKU can be treated by strictly diet and regular checkup, and also control what you eat is the biggest challenge you will have. Since you very like, I can say you will love KFC, right? Yes. So you need to forget about the KFC and need to live your new life, like Miss Emma.
It was very heartwarming to know that PKU patients could still live normally, though with some restriction in their daily life. We have heard from Emma about her daily life challenge. So now we want to hear from you, Mr. Shah. What does illness affect your routine in your daily life? Could you please tell us more? Thank you.
I cannot eat what everyone else eat. Every bite I take has to be measured, calculated and planned. I watch people eat freely, laugh and enjoy themselves while I sit there with my special meal to try to ignore the lump in my throat. It's not just food. If I don't follow my diet perfectly, it could cloud my mind. I might struggle to think straight, lose my memory, or even hurt the people I love because I cannot control my emotions. That terrifies me. I wish, just for a day, I could live without it, to feel normal and free, but that's not my reality. So I keep going, one careful step at a time.
Just from hearing your side of story, I'm sure it has been very hard to manage it. However, I hope the talk we had today could help you in whatever it can. So doctors, I think we can move on to the conclusion for today.
First of all, I just want to tell us about what happened to you. Okay. So to conclude, if you have PKU, we must follow a low strict diet routine to prevent a high level of phenylalanine in our body. So to do that, we must make a regular blood test and also communicate with our healthcare team to make sure that the PKU is still in control.
Okay. You just follow your diet like the doctor said and also make a regular checkup with the doctor. And also I want to add up, you need to inform all the people that you have this condition so they can give you alternative food so you can enjoy that the patient before.
Oh, I'm sorry, while you were busy talking, I could help myself but search on the internet regarding PKU so that I could know more about this disease.
Apparently, the first recorded case of PKU in Malaysia was in 1988. The 6-year-old boy was observed to have aggressive behavior and developmental problems. This leads to their guardian seeking professional help in resolving the issues. The medical practitioner acknowledged that the symptoms shown by the boy are almost the same as Mr. Shak, whom we have here. Also couldn't help but notice that there are not a lot of campaigns in Malaysia. I believe it is important to hold this kind of event to instill awareness and educate the public on PKU as it is a very rare disease for a patient to suffer. The campaign could be inspired from the International PKU Day, which is on the 28th June. I think that's all we have today. Another illness unraveled.
Thank you everyone for spending your time on Hello Doctor for today. See you for another time. Bye.